Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Grow with G. As always, I am so excited to be recording another episode. I am just really enjoying this so much, and yeah, I'm trying to post every week but doesn't always happen, and life's been busy. So it was my birthday last week, was it? I think it was, no, the week before. Wow, time goes quickly. And I had such a good birthday. Oh my gosh, like the birthdays just get better and better as you get older. I feel as you learn more about yourself and you find the right people to surround yourself with, the potential just gets better and better. I just really think birthdays are so much fun. They're such a good time to see your family, catch up with friends, and celebrate life. Like, you got a whole other year to do things that you love, eat your favorite foods, listen to your favorite songs, have new experiences, meet new people, do different things. And I feel like so many of the things we maybe take for granted each day, the birthday is such a good time to appreciate everything. And that's definitely how I was feeling this year, because so my birthday is in spring in Australia, and I feel like I went through a really rough winter, and when I was putting together a list for my birthday, I was like, oh my gosh, like I actually have so many friends that, like, maybe you don't notice the abundance of them every day when you only see a couple of them every few weeks or months. But when I was really putting together a list, I was like, wow, like I have so many amazing friends here. And it just, I was appreciating them a lot and just so excited to get everyone together. I used to be somebody who would do like separate birthday events for like different groups of people, but now I love just putting everyone together because it's all the people that I love mixing with other people that I love. So naturally, most people get along. And there's just something super special about all the people that you love. Well, not all of them, like a big group of people that you love all being together as well. So yeah, it was super amazing. And I feel like birthdays are such a good time for people to show their appreciation for you as well. I had two friends fly down from Sydney for my birthday weekend. Like, is that not the best thing you've heard? Like, so incredible of them. One of them even had an exam a few days later, so amazing that she made it work. And yeah, still came down despite having those things on. And yeah, so two of them flew down, which was super amazing. They stayed with me as well. So we went out for dinner on my actual birthday, and I had worked from home, and one of the girls had studied for her exam at mine with me. And oh my gosh, she was so sweet. After she did a little exercise class, she went and got us pastries to share and eat together. So wholesome. And then yeah, we all went out for dinner that night, one of my favorite restaurants. So was just so amazing, feeling so good. I use the word amazing a lot. And then the next day, yeah, I had a drinks thing with some of my closest friends, and then met a bigger group out. Also, so many people that I love, and so many people showed up for me. And I don't know, I just really love birthdays, and I feel sad when I hear people who are like not excited about their birthdays or don't want to do like anything for them. I always wonder if it's come from a place of disappointment in the past. So, you know, if that's something you resonate with, maybe think about working on what disappointed you in the past and how you can move forward and embrace the joy and the love that birthdays are so capable of. They're just such a good trigger event for people to show up for you and for you to appreciate others as well and appreciate life. Like, how often do we do that? It's so easy in the day-to-day to complain, to focus on the negative, but start trying to look for the positives and appreciate the small things and like watch your life just get so much better and so much richer. I was definitely in the negatives in winter and really hurting, but with the help of the sun coming out and some big changes in my attitude and where I'm putting my focus, I'm just feeling like my life is so much better, and it's fun to appreciate the small things and to take such pleasure in them. So like literally as simple as like the sun shining on your skin on a warm day. Like, have you ever just like basked in like how good that feels? And even like when you pet your dog and you're like, oh my gosh, you're the most amazing thing, like doesn't that feel good? And when you know, get a coffee from a really nice cafe and just like really enjoying the taste of it, that is what I've been working on. And yeah, I've just been trying to make my life more intentional with everything that I'm doing, and kind of ranges all across my life. It started with drinking because I used to binge drink. Like at college, it was ridiculous how much I drank, and I was a lightweight, and it really wasn't until COVID when I had like 2 drinks at dinner one time, and I was like, wow, I'm a great level. Like, is this what I've been meaning to achieve every time? Because I used to drink a bottle of wine at Prees in like 1 or 2 hours. And then like, no wonder I'm in the gutter throwing up. My body could not handle that much amount of alcohol. So yeah, I started realizing in COVID, oh wow, I don't really need to drink much to be a good level. And then I think also it kind of came hand in hand with starting full-time work, because I have shocking hangovers, and part of it is probably definitely drinking a whole bottle of wine. But no, I can get bad hangovers even from just a few drinks. And I have decided that I don't want to spend half my weekend in bed when I only have 2 days off, and you know, a whole day is usually dedicated to like admin and like cleaning and everything. So I sort of decided that yeah, I don't really want to be doing that anymore. So I'm not fully sober. Sometimes I go through periods where I don't drink at all, but for the most part I'll have like maybe 1 or 2, or like if I could maintain constant 2, that would be good on a night out. But it's such a hard balance to find, and I feel like it varies each day with like how much water you've had, how much you've eaten and everything. You just never know what you're gonna get. So that's been my sober curious journey, and I think I will talk a lot about that on the podcast because it is a pretty massive thing to do, to go against the grain of like reducing your drinking, because I don't know, as a society is sort of the thing to do, and I think there's a lot of pressure on drinking. And when like why does it bother people if I drink or not? You know, like those people are the people who have the problem, not me. If you're concerned about what's in my cup, like focus on your own. But I have found for the most part, people don't really care, or they don't notice anyway. So half the time I'm like stressing about it and then it doesn't even matter. But I just feel like I'm such a better friend when I'm not drinking, because I can remember things. Like, my memory is so bad even when I'm sober, and then you add in alcohol, I'm like, cannot remember anything. And then the next day I'm like, hey, can you tell me everything you told me last night? 'Cause no memory, and a lot of anxiety comes with not remembering my conversations, because I'm like, I literally could have said anything. So yeah, not ideal, but yeah, I'm learning, I'm on the journey. I will talk about it more, but yeah, it was a big night on my birthday, and that was like my most generous friends buying me drinks the whole night, which was super amazing. So I probably ended up drinking more than I would have, and oh my gosh, it hurt the next day, and it was a massive reminder of why I've been slowing down on it. But it is fun, can be fun, and if you want to do it on occasion, or if you want to do it on the regular, you do you. There is no one right way of living, and this podcast is just me sharing what works for me. And if you resonate with part of it or the whole thing, amazing, let me know. And if there are parts where you're like, no, don't agree with that, like, that is so fine. You choose your life, like, and I'll choose mine. So imagine if everyone could just let everyone else do what they wanted to do, and you just focused on yourself, like, how much better the world will be. I've really been focusing on myself lately. I am not seeing anyone. I have some of the dating apps downloaded, but I'm not really chatting to anyone, because I am really enjoying my peace and just time to myself to learn things. I read a lot of books, which then I love to share with you guys. And I just don't really want to be texting someone and not doing those things. So it doesn't feel like the right time for me. But I mean, if I met someone, different story, but like, I'm not actively looking, I guess. But yeah, I am really trying to be intentional with my life lately. I was doing a meditation, I think it was 2 years ago now, which is kind of crazy. Or 1 year, maybe it was 1 year. Yeah, 1 year, I think. And so, did you know there is 2 types of meditations? So the first one, which you're probably used to, is called passive meditation, which is sort of the like, you're trying not to have any thoughts, deep breaths, different types of breathing techniques. So it's quite passive. But then there's also active meditation, where you are just like focusing on your life and thinking about things that you want. And anyway, I was doing this guided active meditation, and it's divided into different segments, and the segments are so amazing. Like, I can't remember all of them because it's been a while since I've done it, but there was one where you're like practicing forgiving people. And so you have to think of a situation, and you start small and then you can get bigger. And so you start small, being like, oh, someone cut me off in traffic yesterday, and you're like, that person deserves my forgiveness. I don't know if that's the best, but say you were like angry and you flipped them off or something. Maybe, or no, sorry, you need to forgive them for cutting you off. There we go. And then you feel the feelings of forgiveness, and then as you sort of learned how to do that with the smaller situations, then you can move on to the bigger ones. And I actually did that with the friendship breakup that I talked about in my last episode. And it's really interesting because it guides you through how to forgive them, and how you can see the situation from their point of view, and what role did you play in it, and you practice like giving someone a hug to symbolize the forgiveness, and like maybe you can't mentally hug them at first, but maybe after you've revisited the situation a couple of times, that's maybe then where you build up to it. And then another part of it was goals. And basically, I think they're saying is you overestimate what you can do in 1 year, but you underestimate what you can do in 3 years. And they were like, think about your goals, da da da. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have no goals. I had one life goal, become a lawyer, and I became a lawyer. And then there were a lot of like prescriptive career goals, like once you're a lawyer, then the next step is associate, and the step after that is senior associate. But I hadn't set a personal goal. Those were just the goals that had sort of been laid out for me. And I was at a complete loss with this exercise because I was like, how do I not have any goals? I remember this moment being like shocked. And now as I learn more, I'm thinking like I was just letting life happen to me. Like I was letting the people around me tell me, oh, your next goal is associate. But it wasn't something that I had come up with. So if you're listening along, I encourage you to think about, do you have any goals? And are you working towards something you want? Or is it something someone has told you that you should want? Because those are completely different things. And, well, if you're trying to meet somebody else's goals, you probably won't really be that satisfied when you reach them. And they'll be harder to reach too because they weren't your own. So I think that was super interesting. That really caught me off guard, but it's been really fun to have something to direct my attention to lately. And yeah, I'm just trying to be more intentional in all areas of my life. So most mornings I do try and journal, and if you're not a journaler, that is so fine. I find it so therapeutic to work through things in my journal, but if you're not, you can just think about it. So each morning I cast my attention onto different areas of my life. So I split it up between relationships, money, work, health, play, and self. And it's sort of a mix of appreciating my current circumstances and also like what I want more of, or like what I want from them. So I've really been trying to direct all my attention to the positives of the situation, because once you find a few positive aspects about something, it's so much easier to find more positive aspects, and I think things end up working out better for you when you're focusing on the good things. And it's been really refreshing for me because I'm quite an honest person, so I'm sort of trying to find the balance between being like authentic when somebody asks me something and also like not complaining. It's been a hard balance, but I'm working on it. So yeah, like things that I write in my journal, it's sort of like an affirmation, but also just like listing positive things. So for relationships, I would say like, oh, like I have an abundance of relationships, or my relationships support me, my relationships feel good. I have fun in my relationships, like I am loved in my relationships, or I love my relationships. And then for work, I do like, I am doing meaningful work. My work is important. My team members support me. I enjoy my work. And so that's those examples. And like money. So I'm really trying to expand my money mindset at the moment. I have been quite limited. Like I can limit myself a little bit with money. I can be a bit I don't want to say skimpish. No, I don't think that's right. I can be a bit tight with my money. We'll go with that. And it's kind of exhausting to count the dollars and pick the pasta because it's $1 cheaper than the pizza, you know? Like, I just want to be living freedom with money and not be so caught up. So some of the things I write about money is like, money is abundant, money finds its way to me, it feels good to spend money, like money buys me freedom, money can improve my life. I say, you know, money is on its way to me. So I'm really like calling it into my experience, and I'm not just letting whatever happen. And then with health, I say like, I have an abundance of health. I am in perfect health. Like, my body knows how to repair and it's always healing. And I have an abundance of energy, because energy is something I have struggled with before, because I feel like sometimes I want to show up with more energy than I am, and I can get quite drained by things. But then when I'm around really high energy people, I feed off that and I feel great. But I'm trying to work on like having that higher level generally and choosing that internally instead of like waiting for the right people to be around me for me to act like that. And then play is a really new one for me. I've spoken about this before, but I'm really trying to prioritize bringing play into my life, spending money on things that are fun. So that kind of goes hand in hand with the money one. And then, yeah, so I'm like, oh, I prioritize play. It feels good to play. Play is restful. Play is good for me. And then my last one has been self. So this is all about my journey of self-development and learning my new preferences, getting to know myself. I have felt like in the past that I don't even really know myself, so I'm really trying to get to know me. And you know, sometimes you do really need a lot of alone time to do that, because how do you figure out you are surrounded by other people who are constantly trying to pull you in every direction? So that is where time alone can be really good, to help you develop that sense of self, really reconnect with who you are. So I'm doing a workbook called How to Meet Yourself by the holistic psychologist Dr. Nicole Laparella. I think I'll link it. It's already so amazing. So if you're also feeling a little bit lost, definitely recommend you starting the workbook. It's really helping me. She's amazing. Also follow her on Instagram. She's really insightful posts. And then once I finish all of that, then I will do some just broader affirmations journaling. So I will write down a list of other things, that just generally statements that I want to reinforce and how I want to feel. So I'll be like, I love my life, I love myself, others love me, the universe is looking out for me, because she is, oh my gosh. And I'll be like, things always work out for me, everything happens for a reason, anything that happens is good for you, because either, say if it's somewhat a bad experience, it actually just teaches you more about what you do want more experiences of, and or it's just a good experience. So either way, there is something good from it. And that was a fun little tangent. And then so I'll go through a list of those affirmations. Some of them could be like, oh, like I radiate confidence, or I radiate energy. You can really do whatever you want to feel more of in your life. And then you'll find you start to embody those things more, And they're good little reminders when the rest of the world is trying to tell you all of these negative things, and you have built up this belief system in you, and you're like, no, I know that the world is a good place, and or whatever you want to be telling yourself. And then finally, I finish off with like a long gratitude list. So I write down all the things I'm thankful for, and I know a lot of you would have heard of that before, and it can be kind of overwhelming because I remember when I started out, I would do things like, oh, I'm grateful for water, food, shelter. And then I said those same things every day, and I was sort of like, obviously, yes, good things to be grateful for, but you kind of lose momentum if you're just listing off the same things. But start to appreciate the small things. So like, so-and-so bought me a coffee, or somebody held the lift door open for me. And when you find these like smaller moments, then you'll find more of them as well, and more will happen to you. And it's fun to appreciate those things in life. I also run through like a little checklist when I'm going to sleep in my head that of all of the good things that happened to me that day. So it could be I woke up early, I did yoga, I did Pilates, and then it could be, yeah, someone bought you coffee, your meeting got cancelled, you got a free lunch, you gosh, just trying to think, there's just like so many things, or like a coworker said something nice to you, or you had a cooked dinner at home, or you had your favorite chocolate after dinner, you had a chamomile tea, you got to pat your dog. So yeah, look for those moments, and there will always be something good that happened in your day. And yeah, it's nice to appreciate them, and I think you might find that your mood might improve as well when you're focusing on all of these good things instead of the random small annoying things. And you'll like your own company more, is my guess. And my guess is also that others will also find your company good, and you will be an example for people when they're complaining about all the negatives. And if you combine the positives, I think people would really value that. So yeah, I think that's all I really want to say today. Thank you guys so much for listening wherever you are. I love you. Let me know if anything resonated, what you liked, or if you have any different approaches to anything. Super interested in all of your thoughts. So thanks so much for listening, guys. Okay, love you. Bye.